Reviewing your plans prior to breaking ground and building a house can save you up to 10% on your overall expense of building through what's called value engineering, provided you know these three things that I'm going to go over right now regarding windows, electrical, and site layout of your new build when you're buying land and building houses. First of all, just take a look at this, Alec, from a build perspective. This is your very first home. Alec runs cameras for us and he's our videographer for the last 6-7 years. And now I turned to him one day and I said, bro, it's your turn. You got to build a house. And the whole perspective behind it was not really like for a business, right? It was more for the lifestyle perspective. I had asked him about what his mortgage was, and he told me that he owed about $320,000 or $305,000 on this house that he paid $380,000 for. That's probably now worth probably about 400 grand, give or take.
About, yeah.
Give or take. And so I told him, look, bro, how would this improve your lifestyle, provided that you did maybe 2 of these, not even as a business, just for him, right? First one, just to go in and be able to take the profits and proceeds and just pay off his mortgage, and then position himself where he's mortgage free. The second one could either be to be able to put expendable capital back in his bank account, or for him to move into a better neighborhood, better location for his family, more yard and more amenities, and still be in the exact same place that he is right now with more equity and less owed. And then if he did a third one over the course of 5 years, he could just be mortgage free in a house that's worth double what he's living in now, with zero mortgage and expendable capital in his pocket. And so it's a single family home. If he lives in one of them, even for 2 years while he does this and maybe makes profit, he could take up to $500,000 of capital gains tax free and not have to pay federal income taxes. So he could literally build one and sell it. He will have some capital gains taxes on the first one, but then he can expense that actually into a second one. And when he expenses it into a second one, he can absorb that into the expense of it. If he doesn't ironically sell that house and actually lands up living in it, all of what he made in profit lands up getting expensed in the build, hence no taxes. Then he can live there for 2 years. Now, he's created tax liability on his exit, so he has to stay there for 2 years. So if he does this over the course of a 2-year span and just lives there, guess what? He sells it 2 years later, since he's married, up to $500,000 tax-free, no capital gains taxes. Then 2 years later, he could do a third one, and that's where he really gets ahead. Now he pays off his mortgage completely if he still holds $150,000, maybe $200,000 of a mortgage in an $800,000 home. And now the next one that he does, mortgage free for the rest of his life. Now, that's a 3-year plan, guys. It could be mortgage free completely in less than 3 years and living in an 800 square foot home that he could just raise his family in forever and live there forever if he wants, and just be mortgage free and just have a great quality life. Because think about what he could do with an extra $3,000 a month that he's currently paying on a mortgage, that he can go out now and utilize for his kids and family and doesn't have that stress over his shoulders. And then the last one that he does, he can take that money, pay off all their cars, and in 3 years from now, at the age of 32 years old, he could be in a position where he's mortgage free for the rest of his life. And now he can just raise his young 2 boys. And if they ever have a third kid, they have the ability to raise their kids and live a lifestyle that most people don't get the luxury of living, because they land up with a mortgage for 30 years. They refinance 2 or 3 times. And from here to the end of time, they have a mortgage. So ladies and gentlemen, this is just a tool, for a lifestyle tool, more so for you than anything.
Yep. Just to be able to scale, that's it. To be able to scale and to be able to, have an opportunity where we can get that lifestyle that Jerome's talking about, doing something part-time. Like, we've been working through the entitlement process and everything. I mean, getting a couple hours a day on it,
It's not even a couple hours a day, a couple hours a week, really.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you'll call and it's not even a couple hours a day, it's a couple hours a week. Now, when you start building, it's a couple hours a day, 5 days a week, about 10 hours a week to do it right and do it well. And that's really what it's going to take. Okay, so let's get started with this stuff. How do we save $10,000 on this windows? And how do we position this house where when you do sell it, it's attractive and people want to buy it immediately because of the first appearance on Curb Appeal? And how do we position this house for not only the savings, but for the convenience and the custom amenities that somebody not just wants, but will need ultimately when they're buying a house of this magnitude, and make it resellable and usable for the end user? Let's take a look at the windows. Let's take a look at the electrical. Let's take a look at the trim, and let's take a look at all the doors and all of the interior carpentry, finished carpentry items, so we can help save money, reduce our costs while still not compromising the overall finished facade of the house, but giving people exactly what they need without cutting corners. So we're buying land and we're building houses with Alec. Alec, so far, your lot's $150,000. Do you have $150,000 in the bank?
No.
But how are you going to buy the lot if you don't have $150,000?
Doing the entitlement process right now, so that way we have a tangible asset to be able to take to the bank to be able to get the loan what we need.
So what we're doing is he's invested already in the escrow money for the $150,000. How much did you put in escrow? $3,000 in escrow to tie up the land. So now he legally controls the land under the terms of the contract. Was there a contingency in there?
There was a contingency.
What was the contingency?
It was a 60-day contingency in order for us to make sure that permitting and everything through the municipality that we're working with is going to be able to be completed.
Yes. So we did a 60-day close, but we know that we're going to be challenged to be able to execute and get everything done within 60 days, although we're expediting this pretty damn quick. The plan review process will probably take a little longer than that. But because we have a contingency in there that states that the sale is contingent on permit approval, we're able to go in and leverage them to give us more time, so long as we're executing, right? Everything within the threshold of reasonability. And so we got to work immediately. Did we have a survey on this lot or no?
Oh, we had to pay to get it done.
Okay, so we immediately got on with a survey. Gary did the survey on this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got so many projects going on. I got to remember which project is which one. If you look around my office, I got shit going on everywhere. So that's right. So Gary came in right away. We got the boundary survey, topographic survey, so we can get our civil engineering done. And now we had our architect get straight to work. That way he was able to go in and start getting the build. The architect took about 2 weeks longer to start yours than we did mine because you didn't have a survey yet, right? Or did you have a survey on this lot?
No, we didn't have a survey, but right away we had the survey before we even treated to Tony.
We didn't have a survey. We did the lot. So what we did is we took an aerial view of the lot because we didn't have a survey. And we took a screenshot with an aerial view and we kind of drew on there with red on our phone where we kind of wanted the house to sit. And then we sent him a floor plan of a house that would sell well in that area based on comps. So we didn't go in and we didn't reinvent the wheel. We just went in and we're building something that holds the same statute of what's already being built and sold in these areas, and we positioned it to get an attractive mountain view of the property. So we didn't have a survey yet. And so the whole point being, guys, the reason I bring that up is that you can get started in this process, even if it takes a few weeks to get it. Now, he wasn't able to plat it hard on a hard survey for 2 weeks because we were waiting for that survey to get done, but we were able to take an aerial view, get him to plat it, and get moving forward, which saved us 2 weeks. How far along in the process are we now?
I think probably 30 days, maybe a little bit more than 30 days. But
so we're about 30 days into the process. We'll probably have to close in about 30 days from now. Okay, so we'll ask for like 60 days, but we actually will just extend it even a little further than that. So it's actually you buy a little bit more time. Now, the architect got straight to work. We made a lot of modifications. We had to switch garages. We sent him a floor plan that wasn't perfect. We sent him a floor plan that has sold many times, but we have to make that floor plan custom tailored to fit that lot. And the biggest challenge with this one is the best views have to come from the back of the house, right? Because most people aren't staring at a view out of their front door or out of maybe a couple bedroom windows from the front door. Typically, people are staring out the back windows and the best views come from the back. The problem is the best views are in the front of the house. And so the challenge with this house was that we had to make the front of the house the back of the house in order to retain the best views. So how do you make the back of the house the front of the house and make the house attractive? That was the biggest challenge, right? So when we got it back, we said no go. We had to change and manipulate the floor plan. We had to shift the garage entirely. We had to do an accent tower to make it look like it was part of the dwelling. So now the garage looks like it's part of the main house. We're going to run some stone on that. And then we did this little tiny courtyard wall. We made the courtyard wall bigger than we probably should have, but now it really makes it like you can't tell if it's a front yard, backyard. And then we're going to put stone on the pillars in the backyard and it really accent and highlight the back of the house so that for curb appeal, first impressions are the best impressions. So when we go in, we want to put you, the builder, and the buyer's in a position where the house is attractive when you first drive up. So that was probably our biggest challenge, right?
That was, definitely the biggest one when we were going through the architecture was just trying to figure out how we were going to give it that curb appeal while still capturing the views, because views are what sells homes, right? So
pictures are helpful, guys, because the architects, they're not as artistic as you would think they are. They're very linear. You know, what I mean by that is they're like engineers, right? Engineers think very linear, black and white, cut and dry. With what we do, there's an art factor that goes in it. And for those of you guys that don't have that artistic mind, that are very visual, do it through the means of looking at magazines or online content on Pinterest or other media sites that show homes off, and I get ideas from there. And so over the course of time, I've gotten better at it, so I don't have to look at as many magazines and stuff because I now know how things sell. So to Alex's benefit, and even the architect's benefit, we were able to go in. I knew exactly what I had envisioned for this house, knowing the hundreds of homes that we built, what really makes and moves the needle. And so we were able to put ourselves in a position where we actually went in and made the back of the house look very attractive. And people still know it's a backyard, but it's very attractive. And we get to retain those mountain views. So today we're looking at our first run of what we call our 60% set of drawings. It's when the architect gives to you a 100% set of drawings that are not fully finished, but give you all the technical aspects of it. When I mean by not fully finished, the drawings are fully finished, but they're not fully finished to what we need for the actual build. So what we land up being able to go in and take advantage of is putting ourselves in a position where we can go in and actually retain the changes and modifications that we're in need of to make the house resellable to the end buyer. And there's certain things to make it more cost effective that we have to do as well. So what we're going to land up doing right now is we're going to go in, we're going to look at the windows. That's a big deal for me. The doors, another big deal for me. There's little architectural components that we'll look at right now. So now we let the architect put all his wish list together. They're going to put these tall, 8-foot tall doors in all the house. We're going to take them down to 6-foot, 8-inch doors because they're not needed in the house to sell it. I sell homes based on the comments I get from people that are reselling. And if over 600 homes have sold that I've built over the course of time, and not one person has ever commented about 6-foot, 8-inch tall doors, everybody's putting 8-foot doors in it, I'm going to keep putting 6-foot, 8-inch doors until it is a regular request from home buyers. And if it never becomes a regular request from home buyers, I just don't put them. Because why? I haven't even had one out of 600. So we're less than 1/100th of 1/6 of 1% of any home buyer that's ever said anything. I'm just going to keep them, right? But the architects will put those in there and it'll increase my build cost by $4,000 for doors. It doesn't make sense to do that. Windows, same thing. We're not going to use casement windows. We're not going to use awning windows. We're going to get rid of all those. We're still going to make them attractive with operable windows, but they're going to be sliders, single hungs, or what's called XOXOs. And we're going to do a lot of fixed glass. We're going to enhance the windows. We're going to make sure they're in normal build specifications. So anything over 7 feet tall, we're going to get rid of that stuff. Anything that's within that threshold. Now, with that said, we're going to go in. We're also going to look at the wall components. We're going to look and make sure the architect has things taken care of so the doors aren't funky and weird and they're the right size. Okay, so this measurement right here is 3080. We need the front door needs to be 3'6" 3680. The fixed window up on top is 3010. That's fine. You can leave that. That's fine. Okay, 3 feet by 16 inches. You know what? Why don't we do this 2020? No awning, fixed glass. That's fixed glass too.
Second.
Fixed. Yeah.
Okay, fixed glass.
Bed 3. That's bed 3. That's bath 3. According to here, so that way it doesn't get confused.
And then you said fixed glass, and then you said 20.
2020. Fixed. Okay. This one is fine.
And so what we're doing is we're changing these to make these smaller windows.
We're making these, no, not smaller. We're making them more affordable. So these are like awning windows. Like you don't need an awning window in that bathroom. You don't need an operable window because now code on these bathrooms, they have exhaust fans in them. And so that's standard code. Back in the day, you have to be able to have fresh air going in the bathrooms and exhaust fans weren't a requirement. So now they're a mandatory requirement. You can do fixed glass on your windows and save them. Yeah, way more affordable, half the price on the window. And so the reason I wasn't making it smaller. I just wanted to match like that.
All the rest of them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's matching that 316. So actually just make it not an awning window. He has it matching this one and this one. They're the same. So you could actually leave that. Just actually leave the size, but no awning. Do fixed glass. Okay, this one is the same. He's matching that one. So just leave that one alone. 3050 single hung. That's good. 6060. He took this off another one set of my plans. So a lot of these are good. 6060 fixed glass. That's good. Okay. See, this is what we're doing. This is all fixed glass, but these are 8-foot tall windows. Okay. So what these are is that's a 4060, 4060, 4060, which means they're 6 foot tall, 4 foot wide. And then we're doing a 4 foot wide and 2 feet on the bottom, but we're doing them individual windows to make an 8 foot window. So they're way less expensive because they don't manufacture 8 foot windows. They have to be custom made. Anytime you go into a custom made and custom manufactured window, your cost goes up exponentially. So if you stay under 7 feet, one of two things would either happen here. We would either come in, we would just keep the windows at 7 feet and that's it, or we'll price them out as a 6 foot and 2 foot transient window on the bottom,
Right.
and we won't do any awnings. Then it's all fixed glass, fixed glass, fixed glass. None of those will be operable. We have a sliding door right here. Now this is 6080. We'll do a big sliding door there because we want the big one. Okay. Now 6060 fixed glass is good. It'll match the other one on the other side. And then we got a 6060 fixed glass on that bedroom. That'll match it. Now these, we have to have an operable window in the bedroom. So we'll do 2 of them, but they're single hung already. Okay. He took these exact prints because I already went through them. Yeah. So your windows are pretty good. Okay. Linen cabinet. Let me see. Obscured 4040. Obscured.
That's for the master bath.
Yeah, that's for the master bath. Yeah. Let's leave that like that. Okay. Do that one obscured. Keep going. Oh, let's go to these windows over here.
Yeah, these are the new ones that we
Yeah, these are the 2020s, 2020s fixed. And then these are going to be 5020. So they're going to be 5 feet wide, 2 feet tall. Each one going to be 3 of them. And that's what's going to make the front of the house right there. That's going to look pretty. So we'll do 3 on there. And then everything's in odd numbers. You go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. When you're designed, everything has to be in odd numbers. Okay. Let's go. Oh, and 8080, 1880. Okay. You're good.
These are all matching here.
Yeah, 2020s. Yeah, on the other side. Okay, so that's it on windows. Let's go look at the doors inside, and then we look at this right here. Okay, so let's do shelving right here. Let's just do a bench right there. Call that out as a bench.
Okay, so bench on the
Left side of fireplace. You know what, man? You may want to invest. These houses are going to be $1 million homes. We may want to do like a desk and shelves there, you know?
Yeah, because
Like a desk and shelves.
just looking at Basket Weaver, that might be
Leave the shelves here, but do it a desk and shelves right there.
okay. So we're gonna do desk and shelves to the fireplace. Yep.
That pocket door in the mini master bath needs to come off. There needs to be a barn door there, or just open. Either open or a barn door.
Probably a barn door, right? You would think in the mini
Yeah,
master.
I mean, you could do a mini master. It's just more for aesthetics, you know, so it's going to be, that needs to definitely, no pocket door there, bro. You can leave the pocket door in the closet because no one's going to see that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But that pocket door fucking needs to go.
Yeah.
So take that pocket door out.
Okay.
Okay, then, okay, that bathroom's fine. Oh, all interior doors need to be 6 foot 8 inch tall, except for the pantry door. To do the pantry door at 8 feet tall, just because it looks cool in the kitchen. That's it. Everything looks good. This one's pretty current because I just built that house. What we're looking for right now is I'm looking for the size of the doors because of cost. I'm looking at the type of windows because of the cost. I'm also looking for just framing, like corks. Like one thing that I look for is like on the showers, does the framed wall come past like a bench if it's calling out for a bench, because you can't put glass in front of that bench. That way it's just easier for the framer. So if it's already called out on the prints, and you're going to miss some of this. And so truth be told, you're going to miss some of these items, and it's okay if you do. These are items that when you go back in, you can just think about and do it. And then you may even have to call your framers back, but I'm trying to prevent any callbacks. So that way, if you go in and your framers have to come back, it costs them money. So I just don't want that money to end up being an expense to you on the back end, provided that they charge you. Like my framers don't charge me because we do so much work with them. So like for me and also for you, as you move forward and do multiple builds, a lot of times the framers will come out, they'll frame a little, what's called a pony wall or a little partition wall to break things up for you. But you're going to want to catch that stuff before you do drywall, right? You don't want to be doing that stuff when you're trimming out the house. These are just little tiny things that we want to take care of immediately on the front end, so we don't have to worry about them on the back end.
And what's the reasoning for that? It's just ease of use for them to be able to turn on lights and stuff when they're coming in.
Yeah, bro, because let's say that you go out and you're having dinner and it's dark and now you walk in, you have to walk across your house and trip over furniture to turn on your light. Yeah. Anywhere you have a door, you should have it, right? So like you come in here, if you're barbecuing or whatever, and you come in this door and it's dark outside, you need to be able to turn on the lights.
Right.
Okay. And it's easy. All you do is run a pigtail down to that one. It costs nothing to do, but the convenience factor is just, just great. Just like it is here. See how this one, you come in out that door, boom, it turns it on. This one, boom, it turns it on. This right here, good entryway lights. This one's fine there. And it goes to, you need to do one coming in from the garage though. You need to do a switch. I think he meant to, he just didn't call it out. Yeah. Just do a 2-way on the hall lights. See, like you could turn them on anywhere. This is a 3-way right here. That one's good. Just leave it. Garage door. Yeah. Cool. We got a 2-way there. We got a 2-way there. I'm looking at doors and switches, right? You want to switch by every door that you walk into. Same thing over here on this laundry room. We need to do a switch. We need to do a two-way on the laundry room as well. He needs one on that doorway coming in as well. So it's on both doors. I'd say we do a two-way for that patio light, put it over here as well. Yeah, you gotta remember this is gonna be the front of your house, right? So like that's gonna be your patio light. So like you're gonna have to fucking walk all the way over here to turn that light on.
Whereas if you turn on
Turn here or even inside, man, you may even want to put that thing like inside right here and do it right here on the interior of garage pedestrian door and put a switch for the back garage door to put it in here. That way, if someone's leaving the house, they can just come and turn it on right here.
turn it on as early.
Yeah, as they're leaving.
So talk about that, the convenience and why
Yeah.
you want to think.
So when we go in, we're looking at the electrical lighting packages. And one of the big things that we're looking for is we're looking for convenience of an ease of functional use, right? Because just having a switch isn't good enough. You know, you got to think like, how are people going to utilize it? Like if I was coming in, if someone old is coming in, if a mom is coming with groceries, if you're leaving, like how do you access these light switches and stuff? So when we're looking at the overall design of the house, you know, Alex's house is the back of the house is facing the front of the lot. So people are staring at it, right? So you want the porch light. Like we put this cool little patio that's an added expense over the back door of the garage. Like you don't need that there, but it became an accent piece to be able to make the house look more inviting and give it curb appeal, right? So if you don't have functional use at night and you can't put that light on because you have to walk 300 feet through your house and through the garage in order to do it, you'll never use the light. And so the whole point being is that if you can go in and you can position yourself for convenience, we know that 90% of people are going to walk out of the garage door into the garage to get in their vehicles to leave. So why not just pigtail that, you know, 30 feet across the garage and position yourself to have a light switch right at that garage door. So when you walk out the door, you turn it on and now you have an exterior light that is on and looks like the front of the home. That way it's inviting. It's a security factor, decreases the chance of burglary. This area has almost zero crime. So, you know, we don't have to worry about that, but still it's a safety factor all the way around no matter what. And then we go in and we want the ease of functional use when we come in through any door. So that's just one example. But when you come into a house, if you have to walk across a dark black home to turn on your lights, if you've been gone all day, then it increases the probability of somebody getting hurt, especially somebody old. So you want to be really careful and mindful. You want to be thoughtful about that stuff. And so one of the things is being able to come in and have a direct access to lights as you walk into the house and through the house. For more content just like this, to learn how to buy land, build houses and do it profitable, and retain the highest return on investment possible while still giving a quality product, and little building hacks exactly like these ones. Click and subscribe to our YouTube channel, pound that thumbs up button, and until next time, continue compounding your success.